Okay, good morning, everyone. If I can have your attention, we're going to get started in about 30 seconds. So you notice we have some chairs that are empty. We have people that are stuck behind protests. Just in general, the HE double hockey sticks, it is the impact of Elgin. Short of flyovers, there's no guarantee you're getting here in time. Okay. This is a public meeting to consider the proposed comprehensive official plan and zoning bylaw amendments listed as items 2, 3, 5, 8 to 11 on today's agenda. For the items just mentioned, only those who make oral submissions today or written submissions before the amendments are adopted may appeal the matter to the local planning appeal tribunal. In addition, the applicant may appeal the matter to the local planning appeal tribunal if council does not adopt an amendment within 150 days of receipt of the application for zoning and 210 days for an official plan amendment. A comment sheet is available at the door for anyone wishing to submit written comments on these amendments. Any declarations of interest? None? Confirmation of minutes from February 14th. Carrie? Just for the record, Councillor Leeper will not be in attendance today, and we all know the reason why. Postponements and deferrals from the last meeting, the appointments to the urban and suburban panels of the Committee of Adjustment. Vice Chair Tierney.
Great. Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll just skip to, therefore it be resolved that the report recommend be amended such that Michael Wildman be appointed to panel 1 and Mr. Scott Hindle be appointed to panel number 2.
So that's switching the two of them. And so Colin, the appointee until we vote you in for the suburban, do you need to speak if we're prepared to carry it? And thank you for putting your name forward. It's been a while since you were here, and I'm looking forward to working with you. So, on the Vice Chair Tierney motion, is it carried? And on the report as amended? Carried, thank you. The next item is we're going to have a bit of a presentation, and I know that Councillor Eglai is here and he would like to speak to it, so we're going to hold number 2. That is the zoning bylaw amendment for 1740 Woodruff Avenue. And we do have other speakers as well. The next item, number 3, is the zoning bylaw amendment for 3798 Bank Street. We don't have any speakers. NCC representatives wishing to speak. Are there any NCC representatives here? Okay, so we'll carry it. Okay. And you know what? Can we just hold off on that until we come back to the one that's been held, the first item? Because this is a companion piece, and then we can just say why the NCC would have been coming to speak to it, okay? Okay, number 4, we're holding that item for presentation on both 4 and 5 will be combined, and that is for the designation of Booth Street Complex, 552 to 568 Booth Street and 405 Rochester Street under Part 4 of the Ontario Heritage Act. And number 5 is the official plan and zoning bylaw amendment for 552 Booth Street. Number 6 is another NCC item. It's the capital illumination plan for Ottawa's downtown that we've been asked to support. I don't see any speakers here. Is this item carried? The next one is significant woodlands guidelines, which we will hold. We have speakers on that. The next item is 3598 Innes Road in Councillor Dudas's ward. We have Matthew McElligott from Fulton here to speak. But does anyone have any questions on this? This is for the car wash. No? Matthew, where are you? Do you need to speak if we're prepared to carry this item? No, I do not. Thank you. So is the item carried? Carried. Thank you. The next item is a zoning bylaw amendment for 807 River Road and 4720 Spratt Road. I don't have any speakers registered. This is in Councillor Meehan's Riverside South Ward. Any questions? No? Is the item carried? Carried. Thank you. We don't have any comments from her.
But it would be considered new growth.
Yes, it would be. Well, it is new growth for sure. I mean, yeah, it's 700.
There's no arterial road, right? That is being built to?
No.
Just Marcel was here in case Marcel didn't the last one you just carried.
Oh, well, it's too late now. Marcel, where are you? You don't need to speak to that item? Good, because we already carried it. Yeah. But thank you. Come late. I don't see it in time to have it here, so. Number 10 is a zoning bylaw amendment for 4650 Spratt Road, 4800 Spratt Road, and an unaddressed parcel between River Road and South Bridge Street in Riverside South. I don't have anybody to speak. Does anyone have any questions? No? Anyone in the audience? The ward councillor is aware of it.
I had a conversation with her, and I think she would support whether she's supposed to.
Well, we don't have written comments.
I'll stop asking.
She's aware of it, is what the comments say, right? Does anyone have anything else? Is this item carried? Thank you. Item number 11 is a zoning bylaw amendment for 54 Louisa Street. We have a couple of people that want to speak to this item, so we're going to hold that. This is the parking lot. Number 12 is the vacant urban residential land survey 2017 update, and we have Natalie Pulsine here, who is the staff person. But Mr. Smith, this is our annual reporting. Anything that you'd like to say?
Yes, Madam Chair. This is an annual report that we produce. It just reports on how we're tracking as far as available residential land supply, primarily in the Greenfields area, to ensure that we're maintaining the supply that's required under the provincial policy statement. So the report's basically indicating that we've got enough supply to last us for the period that's identified in the PPS.
I think it's interesting, the part that talks to the number that's connected to the already serviced land. I think that's, definitely in the suburban areas that's important to us. And what was interesting too, I thought, was that for all the years we were told that the single residential was doomed to fail. We see how hardy that growth continues to be. So on this item, this is just receiving, I think. Received? And then we have councillors' items. We have Councillor Dudas, her item, which is a motion direction to staff regarding alignment of official plan policy and zoning bylaw with federal land use approval for 1426 St. Joseph Boulevard. We don't have any speakers on this. Did you have anything you wanted to say quickly, or you just want us to support it? I just want you to support it. Well, we're happy to do that, I think. Anybody have any objections? So it's carried? Thank you. Good job. Number 14 is the status. It is a big deal. If anybody wants more information, please, when Councillor Dudas is available, have a chat with her. 14, the status update, Planning Committee inquiries and motions for the period ending February 11th. Is that received? Yep. And then in information previously distributed, the cash in lieu of parkland. If anyone wants to lift this item for discussion, we have to have 2/3 of those present and voting required. No one does. We're happy we have money, and we've got great ideas, including hockey stands that I invented. Awesome. Okay, we see? All right, so let's go back to the beginning. Well, not quite the beginning. Item number 2, and we're having a presentation, and the speakers we have, in addition to Councillor Eglai, who will be our last speaker on this item, is Catherine Callery, the Ottawa Film Office Board of Directors, and Bruce Harvey. So I'll call you after the presentation. Actually, I'll make you last since you've asked to be last, and we'll sandwich Councillor Eglai in between. So welcome, Allison.
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of Planning Committee. My name is Allison Hamlin, and I'm joined here today by my colleague Jamie Hurst. We're going to give you a presentation on the proposed, the city-initiated zoning bylaw amendment for the proposed soundstage and creative hub at 1740 Woodruff Avenue. So this property is owned by the National Capital Commission. It's a 8.4 hectare parcel on the Greenbelt Research Farm near the southwest corner of West Hunt Club Road and Woodruff Avenue. The site of the proposed development is located within the northeast quadrant of the Greenbelt Research Farm's built-up area, and most of the buildings on the farm have been vacant for decades. The site is surrounded by federal lands, either used by the federal government or leased by the NCC for agricultural or commercial purposes, and it's accessed from a roadway that intersects Woodruff Avenue at a signalized intersection opposite the Nepean Sportsplex. The Ottawa Film Studio and Triborough Studios propose to build a soundstage campus and creative hub on the site. This use is categorized as a production studio within the zoning bylaw, and office and training uses would also occur as part of that use. The development would include the construction of up to 12 new buildings and a renovation of an existing building. The NCC launched a public consultation and held an open house in September of 2018 to get feedback on the Soundstage Campus and Creative Hub project. Over 200 people attended an open house, and 196 people provided comments during the online consultation. The NCC reported that 95% of the responses were positive. Subsequent to this, in November 2018, the NCC Board of Directors approved an amendment to the Federal Greenbelt Master Plan to permit the use at the site. So staff are recommending that the subject lands be rezoned to rural commercial subzone 10 with an exception to align with the NCC's Greenbelt Master Plan. The exception would permit the production studio as an additional permitted use, and the proposed zoning bylaw amendment conforms with the policies of the city's official plan. I'd like to turn it over to Jamie now for a little bit more information on the industry.
Ottawa's film, television, and animation industry has significant economic impacts on our local economy. The industry contributes over $100 million to our economy annually, provides hundreds of skilled jobs in our creative sector, and promotes Ottawa nationally and internationally while supporting and enhancing local creative industries. It is widely expected that the proposed development will present new opportunities for economic growth. A 2016 study conducted by the Barrhaven BIA identified a film and television soundstage as a key potential contributor for economic growth in this part of the city. The proximity of the proposed site to established animation companies, including Mercury Filmworks, makes it an ideal location for the Creative Hub, while the proximity of the Ottawa International Airport provides easy access to commuter and international carriers and flights. The site is also near Algonquin College. The Algonquin College School of Media and Design has many well-established programs with ties to the film industry, including animation, broadcasting television, game development, script writing, and music production. In addition, the city is very fortunate that La Cité offers similar programming. Algonquin College specifically will launch a new film and media production program in the fall of 2020 to meet the demand for crew in our city. With the new soundstage in place, graduates of this one-year condensed diploma program will have exciting opportunities to live and work in Ottawa. According to the proponents, the proposed $40 million development is expected to create approximately 500 full-time jobs in construction. Once completed, it would generate upwards of $25 to $40 million annually in new economic activity and create 500 full-time jobs in our creative sector. We look forward to working with the NCC, the Ottawa Film Office, and Triborough Studios on this exciting addition to the National Capital Region. Ottawa is already home to several world-class film, television, and animation companies, and we are very confident that this proposal will provide an opportunity for us to welcome many more. Thank you.
That it? Thank you very much. And it is exciting. It's very exciting, and it's an opportunity. This Greenbelt Research Farm is like Rip Van Winkle, where he went to sleep for 100 years. It opened the year that Pierre Elliott Trudeau was first elected. And if you remember the first mad cow disease 20-some years ago, it was isolated to one of the buildings here. And we, Geraldine is in the room. Where are you, Geraldine? We discovered it. Like, we literally discovered it. It's like we opened the door to opportunity, and fortunately the NCC agrees with that. So in May at FEDCO, we're going to be coming back with a report. I think it's May, right, Geraldine and John? And hopefully get the attention of everyone. We've been trying to tell you what we're doing there, but it's vastly, it's like overwhelmingly exciting on a global stage for us. So I'm going to go to Catherine Callery. Is Catherine here? Come on forward. If you press the button, the light will turn red. Welcome. You have 5 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair, councillors and committee. Thank you for providing the Ottawa Film Office Board of Directors an opportunity to speak today. My name is Catherine Callery. My day job is Vice President of Destination Development at Ottawa Tourism, but I'm here today in my capacity as Chair of the Ottawa Film Office Board, and I represent those interests. The board is made up of stakeholders, both directly and indirectly engaged with Ottawa's animation and film production industry. We have representation from Ottawa's post-secondary institutions, federal government, entertainment industry, tourism and hospitality sector, the City of Ottawa, private sector businesses, including direct and indirect industry representation. As such, our board perspective is a high-level perspective from across sort of a broad range of sectors in Ottawa. I'm pleased to provide support on the proposed Soundstage Campus and Creative Hub today on behalf of our board, and I would be remiss to add, or not to add, that the support also comes from my employer, Ottawa Tourism. This will be an exciting addition to the National Capital Region. The benefits of production taking place in destinations has been documented from New Zealand and the Lord of the Rings trilogy to Iceland and Game of Thrones to Scotland's Wallace Monument and Braveheart, and recently here, Vancouver's shoot of Deadpool. It resonates with us that the province of Ontario has had to turn away $260 million of production in 2017 due to lack of available sound stages. A soundstage in Ottawa will help attract productions that would otherwise film outside of the province. Productions who choose Ottawa as their filming location often mean a large cast and crew and entourages who stay in hotels, they dine in our restaurants, they visit our attractions during their free time, and they use their transportation options, and they add to Ottawa's visitor economy. We also support the jobs in the creative sector that are created by film and television and the animation community, as Jamie just mentioned. So a city with a thriving creative community tends to be an interesting destination for people to visit. Activity that surround creative people will also lend itself well to Ottawa's reputation as one of the most educated and culturally rich destinations in Canada. The proposed soundstage complex will contribute strongly to Ottawa's economy, and it's expected to increase levels of production in the region, which are already, as Jamie mentioned, at $100 million per year, bears mentioning again, by 40% in the first few years of production.